Hey everyone, Tin Man here, and today we've got part 5 of the big update preview for Dota Underlords, and this one we're going to talk about the 2 new modes coming to the game. The first one is Duos mode, and now this has been a long teased feature. We kind of knew this was going to be coming, but now we get a little bit more details. So in Duo mode, you're going to team up with your partner in crime and battle against 7 other gangs to be the last duo standing. So this is interesting in the sense that you're going to be playing 7 other opponents, meaning that these will be 16-player games. If there's 8 teams of duos, 16 players, so that is a lot more people than is typically in a game of Underlords. But as a team, of course, you're going to have a shared life total and a shared level, which is kind of interesting. A shared health total makes a lot of sense, right? You know, if either one of you lose, you take damage from that same shared life total. But exactly how they're going to make a shared level, I'm a little unsure about how that's going to work. They don't share into all the nitty-gritty details right here, but we'll have to see, whether you both contribute to the same level up experience pool, or if there's going to be higher thresholds, obviously, instead of just needing, say, 16 experience to level up from level... from level 5 to 6? Or no, that's 6 to 7. From 6 to 7, instead of needing 16, maybe you need 30 or 32 or whatever it might be. So that might increase. We'll see how that works out in practice. It's a little bit unclear here. You can also send gold and heroes to help your teammate complete alliances and rank up their crew. Now, I've played duos mode in a couple other kind of these auto battler games, and the way some of that works in those other games is every turn you can send one unit from your board to the teammate's board, but it takes like a 1 turn delay to get there, so it's not an instantaneous trade. I don't know if that's how they're going to do it in Underlords. It's not very clear here the exact mechanics of sending heroes and gold, but I would imagine there's some limitation on it to prevent completely free trading back and forth. In terms of combat, both teams will face off in 2 individual battles against another duo, with round damage added up from both fights. So in theory, both you and your duo partner can win and deal a lot of damage to the enemy team, or one can win, one can lose, and you kind of take a little bit of damage, but also deal a little bit of damage to the enemy. Or vice versa, you could just lose both and take a big chunk. Hopefully you're not doing that too much. So it'll be very interesting to see how this duos thing works out. Once again, there's not as much details in here as I would like to really get a good feel on exactly how the meta is going to shape up around that. You know, whether you're going to be going for different strategies as your duo or the same, or how to kind of optimize that strategy. I'm sure we'll be figuring that out once it actually releases. But it should definitely provide a new and fun way to play the game, since instead of playing against a friend in the current mode, and you have to worry about, I've got to beat them, you can actually just play on the same team, and I'm sure that'll be a lot of fun for a lot of people. I know I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to duos tournaments as well. There are probably going to be a couple of them coming up as soon as this duo mode is released, but hopefully some tournament organizers get on board with this and make more regular duos tournament. And it doesn't mention here in this preview, but I've heard the developers mention that they're planning on having a duos ranked ladder. So we'll have to see if that comes to fruition right off the bat, or if that's going to be a feature implemented later, and if it's initially just a casual mode, or if it does go straight to ranked. We'll find out. But in any case, very excited. It should be a ton of fun and a brand new way to play that I'll probably be playing a whole lot. Next up is a freestyle mode. And now this isn't really like a game mode, it's more of a, just like a feature that you can use. So in this mode you have full control of the board and can create any scenario you can think of. You can use it to explore army compositions or test new hypotheses. Words are hard, sorry. You can then share your design with friends and your community. So, in the picture here we've got Roshan and Ogre Magi on the same team, along with Tomato and Potato, facing off against a board of a lot of 3-star assassins, along with, you see Faceless Void down here, and a troll from the troll rounds. So just a motley crew of different units that you can throw together and see how the fight unfolds. And, presumably give them all the different items and all the different combinations, and you can really go in there and just play around and do whatever you want. And it's kind of like a sandbox mode in some sense. And I think that's really interesting and really cool, especially as a content creator, right? As somebody who wants to make guides and make content and be able to show what I want to talk about and demonstrate. This is an amazing opportunity. There was previously the developer mode, which I've dabbled in with some of my videos. That was a very clunky interface, and I wasn't entirely sure how to like really set up the board properly on both sides. I could set my board up, but it was hard to set up the opponent's board to really show how certain fights would play out and maybe how different positionings would interact with each other, how different items and compositions fare to like say, okay, how often do you win this fight? So I think this will be a very good tool for not just content creators who want to make that kind of stuff, but also for people who are just interested in finding out, what units are strong, what units are weak, what compositions work well together, and then just experiment with different positionings and just, see what works. It's a good like self-learning practice tool. And you see when they implement that into other games, it's always a very popular feature that people really like to have. You can also set up just wild and wacky and crazy situations that are just fun to watch and fun to see what happens in them. So I'm really looking forward to this, not maybe from a competitive or gameplay standpoint, but certainly from a fun standpoint. I think it'll be a great addition, as well as it'll really help content creation, and you should really see a tick up in quality of content because of it. That's really it for today. It's kind of a small preview. It's a little bit light on details in a lot of cases, especially around the duo modes, the specifics here. But I'm sure that'll all be revealed in good time. They did say here at the end, we still have a few more days of previews, so come back tomorrow for more. So there's probably going to be at least 2 more days, Tuesday and Wednesday. And then the speculation is maybe the patch drops on Thursday, maybe? They've been patching on Thursday quite a bit, and if they have a few more days, that's, maybe that's 2 more days. Presumably they still have to reveal the Underlords mechanic, which we don't really know much about, other than it's going to be some effect that affects your entire game. No real details other than that. And there's been speculation about I think it was called a city crawl, which I don't really know exactly if that's going to be like a PvE type situation, like you versus the computer, or if it's going to be a new player mode, or exactly what that's going to be. So those are the 2 features that I'm anticipating they're going to preview. We'll have to see tomorrow. So hope you're as hyped as I am for this update. It should be amazing and should really breathe some new life into Underlords. I'm really looking forward to it. Hope you are too. I will see you tomorrow with the next preview. So I'll see you then. Make sure you like and subscribe, and yeah, see you next time.